Today, this week, I want to talk to you about something that's really important, and that's finding that spark, reigniting that spark within yourself. And to do that, sometimes it's about starting with the smallest joy that you have. Just little things. You really need to pay attention to them and find them. And then you can really start to just explode. And I'm going to teach you in this episode some tips and tricks of how to find that, where to look for it, and how to get yourself going. But at the end of this episode, I'm going to make an announcement of how I'm going to show you and take you along on some other adventures. And you're going to hear about it. It's a big one. I've been packing. So stay tuned to hear about that. Hi there, and welcome back to Hope Regained. I'm Christiane Boudreau, your host, and I'm so happy to be here with you again this week. And I'm so glad that you've chosen to take the time to spend with me as well. At the end of this episode, I'll be announcing a little surprise about how we're going to be finding our inner child. But before we get there, we're going to start on a smaller space. So we're going to talk about how we lose our spark to begin with and what takes it away so that we can be aware of it and start learning how to build it back up again before we go for the bigger inner child piece. But to begin with, how do we lose it? Let's have that discussion. I mean, let's face it, real life happens. We live it every day. It's called bills, family, responsibilities. And then we also find out that there are things going on in the world that scare us, bother us, make us anxious, that we don't like, politics, all those bits and pieces put a dent in that little bit of spark. It's around us. We get burned out. We get stressed out. That's from working and from all of the real life stuff that we have to do. We're so busy surviving instead of living, which is what we should be doing, living every day to the fullest instead of just surviving. And in order to get through it, sometimes we disconnect. We need to just make ourselves emotionally numb and disconnect. It's the only way we can function. And all that outside negativity is just kicking into overdrive. So we shut down. The spark goes away. And we normalize the feeling of being off or not being inspired because of it. So instead of looking for great big moments to go, aha, why don't we start with the small ones just to reignite that spark again? How do we start with that? There's the small everyday things that we can find it in. I call it snippet joy. Snippet joy is something we need to hang on to a bit more. And I'm sure you've heard the word snippet before. So if I say snippet, it means a little snippet, small, a little package, something that's just that little bit of woohoo for a moment. Anything that can just give us that giggle or smile. We talked about the importance of fun, and that's all a big part of this finding that spark again of joy, that passion, that love for life. And it starts with the snippet joy. I'll give you some examples. I know for me, a big, big, big one is the smell of fresh coffee in the morning. Look, I can't even begin to tell you how important that first whiff of the coffee, even before I put it in my mouth. I know some mornings I've had to have surgery and you can't even have a cup of coffee. Well, I'll tell you, when somebody is walking past me in the hallway and I smell it, that's all I want. So instead of just taking it for granted and let it go by you, that first smell that you get, if that's something that you really enjoy, go, and smile with it. That's a snippet joy. A smile from a stranger. How often does that happen these days? Somebody you don't even know. Sometimes it's a matter of initiating it, I guess, walking down the street, seeing them, smiling at them, nodding, saying hello, and they smile back. How does that make you feel for that brief moment? That's an example of snippet joy. Or sometimes it's just the ray of sunshine coming through the window. Just for that 1 minute that you feel that sunshine, you see it, it's lighting up the room with that little ray. That can be a snippet joy. For me, all those little bits and pieces, it's if you take aware of each one as it happens throughout the day, you can start to feel alive again. You can remove some of that numbness from shutting down from all that noise around you by using that snippet joy. You can start keeping a joy journal. In your journal, you could use a line of the little snippets that gave you joy for the day so that it reminds you, it becomes a habit in your mind that when it happens, it automatically wakes you up. Or you can practice some intentional pauses where you just stop, take that millisecond that it takes to think of one little thing that has given you joy so far today, whatever it might be. Really pay attention to those things. And then the other thing is you can completely engage your senses. This is not just about what you're feeling, sometimes of what you're seeing, what you're hearing. A snippet of a song on a radio that gives you some memories of childhood or teen years that were really fun. That snippet of a joy, a smell of some foods that are really good. A great breakfast smell for me, bacon, snippet joy. And taking the moment to find those really works. It adds up. So now we're going to also look at beauty, playfulness, and everyday things that you might not think of as snippet joy. It can be just a regular, ordinary setting. Again, my example was my morning coffee. When I first wake up and I first brew that first cup and I smell it. Or I'm coming up the stairs and my daughter's cooking bacon and I smell it. That is just everyday thing. You can try to revert back and look at things with a new set of eyes. Now, this is where I'm talking about the inner child. I know that when I look through my grandson's eyes, I see it as a child with the wonderment. It looks completely different than a set of eyes as an adult. So try to reconnect with that childlike wonder. Ask silly questions. Who cares what anybody thinks? Let yourself ask them and giggle. Let them be silly. Try new things just because. When we try new things, it's new adventures. You can look at it as like a child. When they're new to a child, there's a different kind of wonderment. So try to spin it a little differently for yourself that way. Let yourself be surprised by things. Let your emotions come through. Yes, it does take a bit of vulnerability, but I can guarantee you it is so worth it. If you feel the smile and the excitement brewing inside like a child would on Christmas Eve, that's a start. And again, it's about the play, the importance of fun. Look, when we went through that whole episode about the importance of fun and we described why, I can tell you right now why. It's not frivolous or silly or dumb. It's a necessity. It is important. It's a big part of who we are and living life to the fullest and rediscovering that passion, that love for life that we all should have. So next we're going to say, how are we going to ignite our inner spark. So I want to hear from you what you've done or what you're trying. This is the challenge for this week. Little things that you notice that are igniting your inner spark, that you're paying attention to. What are you doing for your morning ritual to start your day off properly? To start your day off with that lift, that smile, that happiness. Yes, it's a conscious choice and effort that you have to make. But once you've done it for a while every day and you get into the habit and routine, I guarantee you it becomes second nature. And you will thank yourself for making that effort because it will really change your perspective on everything around you throughout the day. The small things won't bother you as much. Another exercise I'm going to put in our worksheet for this week is for each day, I want you to focus on 3 beautiful things every day. So we're going to call this the 3 beautiful things exercise. Each day, make an effort in your journal to write down 3 things that you notice that were exceptionally beautiful to you. I don't mean necessarily beautiful on the outside and the surface physically. It could be something on the inside. You see a child perhaps snuggling with a puppy. That's beautiful. It gives you beautiful feelings. And I want you to put aside 10 minutes of your day for intentional boredom. It's kind of like meditating, but it is giving yourself that pause. That means no phones, no distractions, no noise. Just find yourself a quiet space, 10 minutes, sit there for the intentional boredom. So it gives you an opportunity to be in tune with yourselves, to feel what great things have happened and to pay attention to those things so that you're not caught up in the day-to-day that we tend to block out everything great because we're just existing, surviving, and living. Take that time, 10 minutes a day, not much. And when you can, if you get an opportunity, take that slower pace. Just slow yourself down for a moment. I'm guilty. Let's face it. We all get caught up. We get busy. We're multitasking, resuming here, zooming there. I got to get this done, that done, this done. Just stop. Even if you slow yourself down like a slow-mo movie, one step at a time, and breathe, it will help you start to appreciate and be in your space a bit more so you can be aware of the good things. Because we're tuned out. Let's face it, we're tuned out. So we get so busy and so rushed that we miss the little spark where we could put it in. You don't have to chase joy. You could just receive it. You don't have to hunt it down. It's there. Let it in. So what I'm saying again about the journaling is this is all part of it, a reflection and looking back on the day and picking out the small things that we can reignite our spark with. So ask yourself, when was the last time I truly felt lit up? Like lit up like a Christmas tree. Even if it was just for 1 second, we're not talking a prolonged moment. We're talking 5 seconds, 1 second, just that brief moment, that snippet joy I was talking about earlier. And in that moment, what were the conditions around you? What was the environment like? So we'll make an intention to ourselves, a promise. Today, I will notice one thing that will make me smile and let that be enough. Can we do that? So I promised you for the next episode, I would be giving you a surprise. I've packed my suitcases, and because we're talking about the spark and the snippet joy and just reigniting it, I've gone one step further. we're going to be doing a whole episode on finding your inner child. And what better way than to find that through doing childlike things? So my friends and I have booked and are embarking on a journey to Japan. And we're taking you along to Tokyo Disney and to Universal Studios in Osaka and letting you see the playful side. And we're no spring chickens. So if we can do it, you can too. Sometimes it's just a matter of saving up, and it doesn't have to be as far as what we're going, but we're embarking on this new journey to just really celebrate ourselves for the hard work we've done for the year and to find that inner child and let go and be silly and be like children. And we're going to be vulnerable with you and let you see us be like children too. So I'm really looking forward to you joining us on this adventure. We'll show you some snippets in the next episode. And if we get any requests for any additional after that, well, maybe we'll do another episode with some extra excerpts of it, because we will be visiting temples and shrines as well. And we could do an edition on meditation and finding peace within. Not to mention the fact that we're hitting Mount Fuji. Anyway, this will also give you a clue on the importance of healthy friendships. I am so blessed and have the most amazing friendships in my life that are very honest, that are very clear and direct. And I can say so trustworthy that no matter what I do, what I say, I always know where I stand. And these people have my back. And the same goes for them, because that's practicing healthy boundaries and communication. So we're going to show you a bit what it's like to have healthy friendships and relationships and where it can take you. I thank you so much for being with me again this week. And if you want to find any of the resources and the worksheets for this episode and some additional video links, you can find it as usual on our website, www.hoperegain.com. And you can also contact us through there. We have a contact sheet that we'd love to hear from you in your comments or questions, or even if you want to work with me and just connect. I'm willing to connect with everybody in person, well, video anyway, just to help you along. I want to share this journey with you. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and you can direct message me through there. Even when I'm traveling and on the road, I have an eSIM, so I have access to the internet. Mind you, with the time difference, it might be a little bit longer to reply. And with that, if you think that this episode or any of other episodes will help somebody that you really care about and love, please share them. And please like and subscribe so you don't miss any more of our content. We'd love to hear your comments as well. Like I said, I take great pride in answering everybody. Until then, the next time I see you, we'll be in Japan. So hang in there, start reigniting that spark and rediscovering that love of life. For life, you're worth it. And we'll see you next week from Japan.